Okay, take two. Here we go. There is 6 people.
Hi, my name is Allison Jennings, and I am here for my Profiles of Greatness speech. I have chosen my father, Robert Charles Beals, who I believe to be an excellent example of somebody that is great. Greatness is defined as something that is above or beyond average. Just to give you a background of his history, he was born in Germany as an Army brat. His father passed away when he was 6 years old in the Vietnam War. His name can actually be found on the Vietnam Memorial. This did have some changes in his life, obviously. He was raised by his mother with his 2 siblings in East LA. He had to get jobs at a young age, starting to mow lawns at the age of 14. This taught him the ability of work ethic and fighting hard for something you want. He also worked on cars for friends and family, as well as eventually got a job in the library in LA. At the library, he met my mother. They dated and obviously married. Shortly after they got married, my dad chose to join the Army. Now, this was a difficult decision for him, obviously, after the way that his father had passed away. But he felt like this was the best decision for him and his family. After joining the Army, he enrolled in UCLA, where he majored in computer programming. This was not a normal field at the time, and so he was kind of getting into it in the very beginning parts of it. After graduating from UCLA, he went back to the Army and began training with the Big Red One. The Big Red One is best known for their tank division, which he actually became captain of. While all this was going on, my mother and father purchased a home in Manhattan, Kansas, which is just outside of Fort Riley, and they had several children. I'm the youngest. After that, in 1990, the United States chose to go to war in the Persian Gulf, and my dad was enlisted and was sent for 6 months. While he was there, he was actually shot, and to give you an idea of his character, he respectfully rejected the Purple Heart as he felt that his injury was not severe enough to justify the medal. So many soldiers were injured in the war, and he felt like his was such a minimal thing that he didn't need to take any special grace or any sacrifice for it. So after the war, my dad decided to finish out his term with the Army and chose to pursue his career in computer programming. That brought us to Dallas, Texas, as it was booming in the early 90s. In 1992, we moved to Plano, Texas, and my dad worked in several well-known companies such as Kodak, Alcatel, Pepsi, Frito-Lay, and he worked himself up within his career path. He eventually became a Java architect, where he worked at Southwest Airlines. Java architect is like a manager over a group of programmers. After many years at Southwest Airlines, he decided to continue to pursue more within his career and is now currently the CIO, or the Chief Information Officer, at a private company in Plano, Texas, that works specifically with cloud computing. So again, he's getting in at the bottom ground, and he's an innovator in his field. I think all of these are great examples of how my dad not only meets but exceeds the normal. He's always working to strive for more for himself, for his family, for his country. I think he's a wonderful example of a true unsung hero. Many children look up to actors and athletes and musicians as their heroes, when really it's people like my dad that should be the hero of all children, because they do everything they can for their families, do everything they can to become the best that they can, and continually working to develop all these features. And these are the kind of things that really make somebody great. It's not that you're necessarily great at one thing, it's that you try to be great at everything. And I think my dad is a wonderful representation of somebody that is great. Thank you for attending.